Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys an update to my Cyberse Yugioh deck profile for post Soul Fusion. This is a really awesome deck. The whole premise of the Cyberse deck has switched around to fusion monsters. I know at the last pack, Cybernetic Horizon, the whole point was to use the ritual monsters that we got from that set, including Cyberse Magician. But this time around, we're focusing on Cyberse Clock Dragon with the deck and just all the different fusion things you can do. So updated it with all the new cards from Soul Fusion. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off, for the new Cyberse monster, we have Clock Wyvern. It is a level 4 Cyberse monster. If it is normal or special summon, you can half this card's attack. And if you do special summon 1 Clock token, Cyberse win level 1 with 0 attack and defense. You can only use the effect of Clock Wyvern once per turn. But what's so great about this card is it just benefits you so much with your link summon plays, being able to just have this monster and that special summon token on the field so quickly. Most of the time, the halved attack of this monster doesn't really matter because you're just going to use it for the link summon anyway. And most of the time for your big plays, you're going to want to go for the new link monster we have, Clock Spartor, which we'll get to in a bit. It focuses on setting up all your fusion plays, so you need a definite 3 of for Clock Wyvern. Even if you weren't going to run the fusion, this card just helps so much with the whole link summon aspect of the deck now with that easy special summon overall. So definite 3 of in all Cyberse decks, I definitely do recommend. And I want to run 3 Lady Debugs. I only have 2, so I have the 1 Sea Archiver in here just as a proxy fill. But Lady Debug definitely does help. If it's normal or special summon, you can add 1 level 3 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of Lady Debug once per turn. So the search just really does help. The fact they could be normal or special summon, just like Clock Wyvern to get its effect, means that you can, summon it back with cards like Monster Reborn, you name it, and all the other ones we run in the deck. Most of the time I like to search for cards like Backup Secretary, just because it's another easy special summon to use when you add it off the Lady Debug, and then go for another link summon, like the option you had with the Clock Wyvern available to you. Just that monster presence on the field is what makes up the whole Cyberse deck to begin with. So being able to swarm the field are definite key plays you want to go for, and that search that Lady Debug helps is a definite benefit as well. And I'm back up to 2 Drag Connects just to help with the assistance with the normal monsters we run in the deck, working together with Prompt Thorn. Drag Connect's just another easy special. You want to have plenty of options, including Lady Debug and Clock Wyvern available to you to get you 2 monsters out on the field. Drag Connect has that same play, again, except just with the normal monsters. But if you need effect monsters for your summons, you can obviously just use the normals to go into cards like Link Spider or anything else generic for the Cyberse deck. Just 2 of them, though, for the deck. I do like the Clock Wyvern just a little more. It's a little more consistent, but still like the Drag Connect play in the deck as well. And I also run 3 Balancer Lord. This one just helps with the just the assistance for going for maybe like a link 3. Once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points during your main phase. The turn you normal summon 1 Cyberse monster in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only use the effect once per turn, and if this card is banished, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower monster from your hand. You can only use the effect of Balancer Lord once per turn. So either the banish or the additional normal summon that you get off with Balancer Lord just helps overall, whether it be for Clock Wyvern, Lady Debug, you name it. Having this card on the field already means that you can get your link 3 plays going as well, or just have that additional monster on the field to use for any other ones you want to go for. If you want to use your fusion play like with Clock Spartor or something is how you pronounce the name. Either way, Balancer Lord with the banish effect to special also does help. You just benefit overall running 3 of this in the deck. And the same goes for Widget Kid. Run 2 of this card just for easy, normal summon. Then you can special summon 1 Cyberse monster from your hand. In defense mode, you can only use the effect of Widget Kid once per turn. I only run 2 just because Widget Kid is a once per turn. So if you end up just having, multiples of this in your hand, it doesn't really help too much because then you can't reuse the effect again, obviously. But the normal summon, Field Swarm, it doesn't cost you as much as the Balancer Lord, but definitely does come in handy when you can combo the 2 together as well. And I also run 3 Prompt Thorn. Really still do love this card in the deck. Setting up all the field swarm you can with this card. You contribute any 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster to special summon any number of Cyberse normal monsters from your deck and or graveyard whose total levels equal the attributed monster's level on the field, but banish them during the end phase. You can only use the effect once per turn. So if you have that monster on the field and you use Prompt Thorn, I run plenty of Protrons and Digitrons just to mix and match. And if you already use cards like Drag Connect to get those monsters out, since Prompt Thorn also works in the graveyard, it definitely does help as well. I run 3 of this just so you can grab it fast enough to make use of that special summon. Having them all in the field just gives you that option. You want to have all your main monster zones filled up for your Link summons. And I also run 2 Protron. This and 2 Digitrons are the normal monsters I run to mix and match with the Drag Connect and the Prompt Thorn just for the summon plays. I also run some other spell options, which we'll get to in a bit, that you use to fully benefit all the normal monster plays you make. Plus, I run the 2s and 1s because you can just mix and match them depending on, what level you want to go for with the Prompt Thorn. So it definitely does help there. And being able to do this with your Prompt Thorn, and then have options with like Protron to go maybe into Link Karibo available to you, or if you open 2 of them up in hand, then make Link Spire, then summon another one. Means that if you open up 2 normal monsters, you're still not playing, dead hands with the Cyberse deck. And also 2 backup secretary. I was talking about Lady Debug before. It's best search with this card. Just an easy special if you control a Cyberse monster. So even if you have this card in your hand already and you have 3 monsters on the field, it makes for a very easy Link 4 to the field. Same with Boot Staggered. I run 2 of this card as well. When a Cyberse monster is normal summoned to your field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only use the effect of Boot Staggered once per turn, and when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon a Stag token, Cyberse, to the field. So just easy special again off of a normal summon. The whole thing works so well together with all these easy special summon, normal summon monsters that we have working together just to swarm the field, then go for your plays. So this definitely does help it too. Same with Cyberse Gadget. Was honestly thinking about bumping this card up to 3. Still trying out the 2. We'll see how it works. If it does come up for a 3 option, I'll show you what I would remove from the deck for it. When it is normal summon, you can target 1 level 2 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense, but its effects are negated. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 gadget token, level 2 attack and 0 defense, and you can only use the effect of Cyberse Gadget once per turn. So you're just getting the benefit of more monsters on the field. I kind of like it better than Stack Reviver in the deck, just because you're guaranteed that token. If you don't have any other monsters to summon with Stack Reviver, that's the biggest problem there. But with the other one, being able to special summon a monster, Cyberse Gadget definitely does come in handy late game when you already have those lower level monsters in your graveyard. And I also run, for the 1-ofs now, 1 Ram Clouder and 1 Rom Claudia. These are just easy normal summons to target a Cyberse in your graveyard. Late game, very handy. Like backup secretary for that special summon. And Ram Clouder just gives you maybe some of your bigger Cyberse monsters, whether they be Link monsters, you name it. All you have to do is tribute a monster, then target one of those Cyberse in the graveyard and special summon it. 1 of options, they're searchable with your spell card that we run, Signet Backdoor. So you only really need those ones to search out for these cards. Obviously to make use of for the tribute, especially most of the time, even with just the search, I like them just at the 1. The same goes for the Dotscaper, which definitely does also come in handy for easy Link summon, special summon plays with it, whether it's banished or sent to the graveyard. And 1 D-Grade Buster late game. It's a powerhouse monster if you don't have options for Link summoning available to you, if you don't have the resources. It's just an easy monster by banishing 2 Cyberse from your graveyard to the field, making use of some of the other ones, including Dotscaper and Balancer Lord with their banish effects. So definitely like running at least the 1. And that is it for the monster lineup. We run a heavy monster lineup just because they all work so well together to get off your Link plays, which is the main focus of the Cyberse deck. For the spell cards, I'm running 1 Cynet Fusion. Now, the only reason I won 1 of this card is because of Cyberse Clock Dragon, your main fusion monster that you use. And the fact that you run Clark Spartar means that you can search this card out when you Link summon it. So it's much easier to use and make a Link 2 in this deck than it is to, hopes to grab multiples of this card. With it, you fusion summon 1 Cyberse fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. If you control no monsters in the extra monster zone, you can also banish up to 1 Cyberse Link monster from your graveyard as fusion material. So that one definitely does come in handy with the requirements, which we'll get to with Cyberse Clock Dragon in a bit. But like I said, it's searchable with Clock Spartor, so you can easily search it out. You don't really need more. If you were to run more than 1 Cyberse Clock Dragon, then you could add more of this card in, but just the 1 for now, like I said, since it is searchable. And if you're going for your big Cyberse Clock Dragon play, you really would hopefully ever need one in the deck. For the other one, 3 Signet Backdoor. Still love this card in the deck. It's a quick play spell card. You target one Cyberse monster you control, banish it, and if you do, add one Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand whose attack is lower than that monster's original attack. During your next standby phase, return that monster banished by this effect to the field, and it can attack directly that turn. So being able to add any of the ROM or RAM Clouders or Claudias to the hand to use definitely is what I like to use the most with these Signet Backdoors, and also just protecting my monsters since it is a quick play, being able to react on your opponent's turn obviously, and then that direct attack, just all the more powerful for the deck. And I also run 2 World Legacy Succession just because you run plenty of Link monsters, so it's an easy monster reborn. All you have to do is, special summon the monster to where that arrow points. So just full use of a lot of other Link monsters, which gain benefits when you special summon a monster, which we'll get to in a bit. And lastly, I also run 2 Unexpected Die, plenty of vanillas in this deck to special summon, plenty of them to also make use of from the graveyard with cards like Prompt Thorn and Cyberse Gadget. So easy special summon there if you don't go for the Drag Connect, which you still have plenty of search targets for the Drag Connect as well. And 1 Soul Charge and 1 Monster Reborn to finish off the main deck. The only other thing you really use life point count for is Balancer Lord, so no real harm done with the Soul Charge and Monster Reborn, just like the World Legacy Successions, easy special summons from the graveyard. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra. I run 1 Cyberse Clock Dragon. Now, like I said, I might bump this up to 2 if I wanted to go for more of the Cyberse Clock Dragon plays. Just 1, though, because most of the time, if you get this card's attack up so high and you're able to attack and push for that game, it's really all you need. You need 1 Clock Wyvern plus 1 Link monster or more Link monsters. And when this card is Fusion Summon, you can send the cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard equal to the total Link ratings of the materials used to Fusion Summon this card until the end. Monsters you control cannot attack, except for this one, and it gains 1,000 attack for each card sent to the graveyard by this effect. And while you control a Link monster, your opponent's monsters cannot target the other monsters you control for attacks, and also your opponent cannot target the monsters you control with card effects. And if this Fusion Summon card you control is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 spell card from your deck to your hand. It's really, really good overall for that search, but it's a very power-heavy hitter if you go big with your Link fusion plays with this card, which is why I just love to make it. It's very easy to Fusion Summon with Signet Fusion in this deck as well, so you really can't go wrong with your Link plays, then going into your big fusion monster as well. And I also run 1 Clock Spartor, or Spartoy. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm thinking of how Yusaku just says it in the anime. He says it with that, weird accent, and it just sounds so cool when he says it, but so debauched when I say it. You need 2 Cyberse monsters to make this, and if this card is Link Summoned, you can add 1 Signet Fusion from your deck to your hand. And if a monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, except during the damage step, you can target 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but negate its effects. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except for fusion monsters. You can only use the effect of Clock Spartoy once per turn. The fact that it just searches Signet Fusions, why I only run 1, you're guaranteed to add it to your hand to use with that. All you need is the 2 Cyberse monsters, which we've been over plenty of times in this deck already. It's very easy to use and, summon this card out. So you have your fusion play all set to go as long as you have all the other preparations as well. You have to make sure you have Clock Wyvern on the field as also, don't forget, which most of the time you'll be able to special summon off Clock Spartor with that if you have it in the graveyard already and used it for the play, like I was saying earlier. I also run 1 Link Karibo for your, level 1 monster Link plays. Good protection, easy Link monster to make with your level 1 monsters. Link Spider for the tokens and the normal monsters as well, so you have an effect Link monster to go for. 1 Honeybot, its arrows are great, and the fact that you just need Cyberse monsters makes it a more powerful one than Proxy Dragon in this deck. Also, 1 Underclock Taker, just if you need to get over some, big attack point obstacles as well. For the Code Talkers, I still run 2 Transcode, probably one of my favorites just for setup with this deck. I did some combos with this Clock Spartoy and just had, so many arrows to use for Cyberse Clock Dragon. It was quite insane. The special summon is definitely helpful, and then the power boost as well comes in handy a lot. And I also run 1 Decode Talker, 1 Power Code Talker, and 1 Xcode Talker. Just more big Link plays. I don't want to run Encode anymore. It doesn't benefit as much as I liked. If you were to swap anything, I would maybe try one of these 3. swapping out and putting in encode, but that's just the option there. One Trigate Wizard, just for its connected link arrow plays. You plenty of arrow options available for you with this card to go into. Also, one Topologic Trisbana, very powerful, scary card for your opponent to go up against, and a Cyberse, so you can't go wrong there. And then for the Link 4 plays, I run one Firewall Dragon, the main powerhouse, obviously, two Yusaku, so definitely have to run that, and one Topologic, more of the offensive Link monster to go into. You just need 2 or more effect monsters, so with some of your lower Link 2s, it's very easy to get out on the field as well. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I always love giving you guys the Cyberse updates. I love doing them the most just because we get so much support for the deck, and it's definitely a lot of fun deck to try. Definitely recommend if you're looking to get into a deck that can link summon a lot. But other than that, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, Kira Twig out.